Thank you, everyone. Please sit down, and good morning, IEA. So good to see all of you. What a great way to wake up in the morning. So thank you very much to Al. Thank you to Becky. Thank you to all of you, really, for welcoming me, to your Executive Director, Michael Schaudy, all of the members of the Representative Assembly, and the leadership that you represent, to the 135,000 proud IEA members that you represent, teachers and professors and paraprofessionals and support staff, retirees, future educators. Thank you for all the days that you come in early and you've stayed late. Thank you for the countless ways that you nurture and encourage and support our children. Thank you for the sacrifices that you make to shape the future of this great state and this nation. There is an awful lot of fear and uncertainty right now for parents, for children, and for all of you and those you represent. President Trump and his bootlickers I have other words to describe them, too, are tearing down, even as we speak, the US Department of Education from inside. Instead of proposing anything to improve math and reading scores for students or to support those who work long hours to educate our children, they're making it harder for working-class students and their parents to get ahead by firing more than half of the department's workforce with no notice and no due process. I want to take a moment to thank our great Attorney General, Kwame Raoul, who is in court right now. He's in court with 20 other attorneys general right now, fighting what Donald Trump is trying to do to education in this country. Now, if Donald Trump really cared about education in our states, he would have hired a Secretary of Education who knows something about public schools, like maybe an educational professional, maybe a teacher, someone who understands what our schools mean to working families across the United States. Instead, he hired a former wrestling promoter, Linda McMahon. Now, wrestling can be entertaining, I'll admit. I don't watch much of it, but that's not the kind of expertise that most Americans are looking for when it comes to carrying out good public policy for our families. Education is either the foundation of our nation's future success, or if we fail, it can be our nation's undoing. When we invest in our schools, we are building stronger communities, a more stable democracy, and a healthier economy, and it gets done by teachers and educators and paraprofessionals and professors and all of you here today. And that's why, in proud partnership with educators across this state, the General Assembly and I have made improving education one of our highest priorities. Every student in every community, from Cairo to Chicago, from Rockford to Champaign, and so many places in between, deserves a high-quality education taught by a well-paid teacher in a school with a library, and a librarian, and a nurse, and maybe even a social worker. And so we've been trying to make progress toward all of those things. It's why we've increased funding for Illinois schools every single year that I've been in office. So far by more than $2.5 billion. Illinois has quadrupled the minimum wage for teachers. We increased scholarship and grant programs for aspiring teachers. We improved the funding of the teachers' retirement system pension plan beyond what is required by law. And I've asked the General Assembly to allow us to more quickly get to fully funding your pensions. So this year in my proposed budget, we double down on our commitment to excellence in education, increasing state funding for public schools once again, even in a year where we have some fiscal challenges. Because it has to happen every year, year in and year out. Whether we can make the numbers work or not is up to us. What's important is we've got to fund you and make sure that you get to do the job that we need you to do. I've also proposed common sense legislation that will make it easier for you to do your jobs by requiring school districts to adopt a policy to ban cell phone use in classrooms. And for yet another year, we are investing again in recruiting teachers from across the nation and across the state of Illinois and making it easier for teachers to stay in the profession. Now, it turns out that if you treat teachers well and you focus on improving our schools, you get real results. So this year's Nation's report card shows that Illinois is improving relative to other states. Our 8th graders now have the 2nd highest reading scores and the 5th highest math scores in the United States.
Let's go!
And Illinois' high school graduation rate is the highest it's been in 14 years.
Okay.
And although they're not the be-all and the end-all, U.S. News & World Report now ranks Illinois 7th in the nation for K-12 education, and we won't stop till we're number 1. I don't want you to think that I'm suggesting that we don't have a whole lot more to do. We do. But let's take a moment to sing the praises of what we're accomplishing for our children in this state. And it's a testament to the hard work that all of you do, everybody in this room and the 135,000 members you represent, whose commitment is to maximizing the potential for every student in the state of Illinois. Now, the Doge bags in Washington I'm sorry, I may have misspelled that. They hate that we're succeeding in Illinois. They just hate it. It drives them absolutely crazy, and I love that it does. But they're hell-bent on destroying public schools, not just here, but across the nation. Most immediately, the destruction of the Department of Education will mean that students in rural communities who have relied upon federal funding to keep their schools open are likely to see school closures and will have to travel further and more minutes, more hours to get to the education that they deserve. Students with disabilities and special needs are getting defunded, and they're getting left behind. Working class students who depend on Pell Grants to earn their college degrees may be forced now to drop out, and many forced, well, to forget about the idea of going to college at all. Now, I'm not going to sit still for it, are you?
No, fight back, fight back.
That is right, fight back. If they hear from us, and if they hear us loud and clear from teachers and parents and students and their voters, we can beat them back. But we're going to have to fight for it. Are you ready for the fight? Yes. IEA, are you ready for the fight? Yes. Let's go get them, everybody! Let's go beat them!
Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. And while you're at it, please leave us a comment. Thank you for watching.